Pani puri, pani puri.
It should be the song by this actor. Yes, it should be the song. Actually, we're talking about food. So it should be the song by this actor called Govinda, who's a legendary actor. And since you mentioned Pani Puri, so there's a song called Main Raste Pe Ja Raha Tha, Bhel Puri Kha Raha Tha. So it is like Bhel Puri, Pani Puri, you know, all this stuff. So
Yes.
pretty much, I think we should have started with that. But
well, sorry, we didn't synchronize too well today.
But I see you're missing Pani Puri. Are you missing
Pani Puri? Not so much. You know what I'm missing? Aloo Tikki Chole Chat. A lot.
Oh my God, I love that.
I love that one. I love that snack. And it's the one which I could not yet find anywhere around Lithuania or Spain. Maybe I don't know where to search, but somehow maybe it's a very like also specific one. And I'm missing that badly.
Very typical. Very typical. That is, yes.
So today, actually, that's what we did. We did already the intro. We're talking today, again, short session a little bit. We're talking today about our generally eating habits or routines or something very typical, comparing India versus Lithuania, Spain, because I kind of mix now both, let's say both cultures or both lifestyles into one cluster, and I will try to become still a human who survives on mixing so many things. Maybe we can start actually straight away. Sabi, what did you have for breakfast?
Today, what did I have? Today, my cook didn't turn up, and but anyway, even if she turns up, my healthy diet that I follow. But let me start with me versus what my family eats. So you'll get like a mix of all, I had oats bowl. So of course with berries and nuts and everything, along with my fruit and juices. But in Indian household, breakfast usually, remember I told you about poha. I'm sure you missed that as well.
Yes.
Right?
Poha.
So for people here watching from the West, guys, it's this typical breakfast in the state I'm in right now, Maharashtra. So that's where vada pav, poha, these are the most like famous breakfasts. And idli, again, down south and even here Maharashtra, idli, sambar, upma, these are the breakfasts. Like it's really healthy. And I think it's super healthy actually. So even I eat, yesterday I had poha.
I used to eat, in Pune, I used to eat masala dosa for breakfast sometimes.
God, that's like really heavy. It will keep you full till like but it's delicious. Yes.
Okay, super good. Actually, I wanted to say that my cook also didn't turn out because I am the cook. So maybe first different spotted. Here, neither in Lithuania nor in Spain, we normally have cooks coming to home to deliver or to make fresh breakfast. But actually, apart from that, I think we have quite similar eating habits for breakfast, because I usually eat by the way, breakfast between 7 and 8. And I know, and you?
Too early for me.
Yes.
It's too early for me. Like 7 and 8, I'm sleeping. I wake up at 8:30, and then I start with my, the dates, cinnamon water, and stuff like that, juices, and then I get to my breakfast. My breakfast usually, I'm trying now that I should have by 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. I usually have it by 11-ish, 11:30-ish.
Okay, so that's a bigger difference, because I wake up usually 6:15. I do a little bit of morning things, and my breakfast is between 7 and 8. And I love oats, so oats with banana and honey or yogurt is there, or sometimes I vary with different grains like fenugreek, which is very popular in Lithuania. If I go out, if it happens to be a weekend and we go out, I love to have for breakfast either omelette with the palm tomate, like here in Catalonia they eat, the bread with tomato rubbed in and a little bit of olive oil, or even tortilla de patata. So it's like a omelette with potatoes. It's quite heavy. So sometimes that's why normally probably I wouldn't choose it, but for like weekend breakfast, I really like it. Many people here in Barcelona have breakfast, coffee and croissant, or coffee and sandwich. But I don't know, for me, it doesn't do. I mean, for me, sandwich is a bit too rough food for breakfast. So I like some warm, little chewing things like oats.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think for me, it's the best for my stomach to prepare for the day, energy-wise as well.
Yes. You know, for me, see, you eat egg. Right now, I've turned vegetarian for the last, I think, 4 or 5 months. And since there's no egg in my breakfast. So what I usually do is I'm a very moody eater any which ways. Like I've been trying to have oats for the last 5 days, if I'm not wrong. But I just didn't feel because I was feeling like having cold breakfast. So I would have like chia bowl, or Greek yogurt with like your
Super healthy.
fruit. Yes. And at times I'm like, I think I missed my scrambled egg. So I make like scrambled tofu, and I have it with toast, or I have like avocado toast, with cheese. So that's my typical breakfast, like here in Bombay.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking in general, fast question. These breakfasts of yours sound quite fancy and take some time. Is it usually your cook that you tell him, okay, I want today for this, and he prepares, or he actually brings the ideas what he's going to prepare?
No, because breakfast, I pretty much keep it to myself, because by the time the cook comes, probably like things are not ready. But these days, since I've been having quite late breakfast, so I ask her to kind of chop all the fruits, for my bowl. And rest, it's all easy. Oats, she's learned how to make anyway, so she would do it for me. But otherwise, if I want to have Indian breakfast, now see, every day I can't just keep having this. At times I'm like, I think I miss my poha, I miss my upma, and idli, these days I do not have it for breakfast. Idli dosa, if I feel like, I call from out and I have it for lunch. Usually I do that. So, but typical household, they eat paratha. In North India, if you go to the north of India, yes, aloo paratha, you love it.
I love palak. You know this palak? Is it with palak? With palak, like with paneer. Palak. Is it with palak paneer?
Paneer naan.
Naan, but also I think in paratha they used to put also palak. Huh?
Paratha. Oh, I know what you want. Yeah, methi paratha.
Methi, see, methi. Yes, I love methi paratha.
Yeah, it's called thepla. You like that? Yes.
Oh my God.
Typical households, they would have that and a pickle, for breakfast.
Oh Jesus, these pickles, mango pickles. I miss those mango pickles. Long time I haven't eaten them.
Should I make you should I get you tempted?
Oh my God, come faster, Sappy. I'm hungry. So actually I think we have really nice breakfast, quite healthy. Timings quite vary, because when you start eating your breakfast, I'm having my first coffee of the day. Usually at 10, 11, I am like, okay, now my green tea effect is a bit down. So I'm using this biggest pump for the day and the push, and I have a cup of coffee at 10, 11 before lunch time comes. Do you have something in between your breakfast and lunch?
Lunch, yes, me, because in between, I think I have my green tea, and then I would probably have nuts. But if I'm talking about back home, even my family wouldn't eat so early, like around your time. They would have max by 9 o'clock. They would have their breakfast, and then in between they would probably have fruits or milk or something in between. And then they would lunch by 1 o'clock, 1:30. They would get to lunch. But for me, 2:30, 3 somehow, because Mumbai timings are very different, Even when my family comes in, they're like, what is this? First of all, we don't get sleep before 12, whereas back home we are like in bed by 9:30, in the night.
Yeah.
And everything is like late here in
Okay.
So you would say,
okay, so you would say then, okay, between breakfast and lunch, you have maybe some green tea, some nuts. You go for lunch 2:33.
Yes, 2:33.
Okay.
Yeah, 3
is this your main dish of the day, main food of the day, lunch, the heaviest?
Yes, lunch. Yes, I feel, I say, with me, if you talk about me individually, I eat a lot. I don't look like that person, but I eat so much. And even my breakfast is always heavy, super heavy. And then lunch is the heaviest, I guess. Yes, you are right, actually.
So go for lunch. What do you have?
Lunch, Aiste, I love my Indian home food, I just swap it. Instead of white rice, I have the brown rice. Then I have lentils. And lentils also, there's so many variations in India, thankfully. So we can make it in different ways, sometimes a little more healthier and sometimes unhealthy because we're using a lot of like cream. It's a lot of fat, right? Or ghee, butter, all
Yeah.
of that. Then I make sure there's a green in my, lunch meal. So I would have like a spinach. It can be like a saute. And then I will have a typical Indian veggie. It can be like any veggie, like bottle gourd. It can be bitter gourd, with potato. It can be paneer, like cottage cheese. Then there's so many, like eggplant. So all those like sabzi, basically, that's what we call here in India.
Yeah.
And I have that with salad, again with cucumber, tomato, lime in it, onions. Indians and onions go hand in hand. So that's something that we
do you have it with naan or with rice?
I have it with rice, and if I feel like having a roti, chapati, the bread, then I ask her to make with like very little butter, like ghee, because I like that. I love the taste. So I will have that with, it's a very heavy, actually lunch is heavy. You're right. Lunch is heavy.
My mouth is getting really wet.
Watery.
I miss these great curries and all the sabzis and just, eating with chapatis, this fresh cooked chapati here and now, like all this food and
oh my God. I wish I could send you. I'm actually feeling like that craving. I can actually see it here,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because if we go to my lunch, well, now I was just in Lithuania, and normally how in Lithuania, I try always still to have my lunch between 12:30 and 1:30 because my breakfast is early, so I'm hungry. Normally, typically in Lithuania, we have two dishes. So first is soup, and it could be tomato soup, cucumber soup, mushroom soup, cold beetroot soup, borscht, or any type of variety. We have it's like fermented. Fermented cucumber soup, one of my favorites, by the way. And once you come, I will make you. You will be like, you will not be able to stop eating. It's very good.
Oh my God. Okay, that's interesting.
Interesting is not the word you should describe it, but
I've never even thought of a cucumber soup.
But it's fermented, it's like pickles. You make it pickles, so it has a bit of like sour taste and a lot of vegetables and specific kind of I don't remember, it's not rice, but something like cousins of rice. So it's a really nice soup. And we always have first soup, and then the second dish, usually again, going to be something quite heavy because we are the country of potatoes, meat, dairy. So it might be a various mixture of chicken with potatoes and salad. So chicken could be either, I don't know, curry or just cooked breast or cutlet. And then, you have a variety of this, but I would say it's quite a good combination of, having meat and having your like potatoes and then having salad. So it's like always going to be there. It's not like just, let's say, I call it brown food, like where it's just potatoes and meat, but actually you have quite a lot of like colors there, which I would say is healthier. But this is Lithuania part. So, but when we here in Barcelona, if we go out, so there is of course this the menu del dia, the I would say the lunch menu, and it usually comes with first, second, the dessert and coffee. It's kind of a combination. For the first, again, they have something like gazpacho could be, or some burrata with tomatoes, or even light tartar of some either tuna or tomato. Then the second one is usually either, I would say, some pasta or even mini pizza or rice, kind of depending on the place what they prepare. And then for dessert, of course, it's quite a heavy lunch, by the way. So for dessert, they usually even give like a light fruit even, or just a yogurt, and then they also bring coffee. So initially for me, it was really difficult to eat all of the dishes. It's like, well, it's like 4 courses, and I like to eat, but when they used to bring dessert, usually I take it with me to somewhere because I can't stop it, even if it's just the fruits, like I'm so done. So it's quite heavy. And I would agree with you that here also lunches I think the main food of the day.
Yes, because you have quite a bit happening there. I mean, but one way, I mean, when I was in Spain, I noticed the food was so heavy. Like everywhere you have cheese, and potato, like literally, right? And I was
Patatas.
like, yes, I was like, listen, can I have anything like super healthy? And either had to go to like a different cafe, like where they would have just healthy meals, or else everywhere I go, I would only find that. Now I'm just wondering, I say, now I've turned fully veg. I don't know traveling, what it's gonna be like, because I used to love my salmon sandwich with avocado. Like that was my favorite. Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna be here, let's say it's still quite easy to get away if you're vegetarian, but of course, then you miss out on these little special local delicacies, like with shrimps or calamaris or fishes. It's like Barcelona is the seafood heaven, and
exactly.
then you just have to.
I'm a seafood sucker, so it's just like something more than meat. I used to always eat seafood was my thing. I wouldn't eat chicken so much or like mutton, but seafood was something that I really love.
Well, you might just come to Barcelona and get converted back to eating a little bit of seafood.
Let's take this. Let's hope this pandemic gets done soon and we get to take a flight. Like I'm literally waiting to come there.
Nice. So usually we have lunch, though most people have here much later lunch. Like I am still trying to kind of, because I wake up early, I have breakfast early, I have the earliest time possible, my lunch, but usually like many of my friends have between 2 and 3, so quite similar to your timings. And then between lunch and dinner, I normally only have maybe additional cup of coffee and maybe, I don't know, a banana or nuts if I'm quite hungry. But many people, my colleagues or my friends, they have also in between like a sandwich, because, and we will come to this part, but many people here have dinner around 9, after 9 p.m. at least. My dinner is, okay, I now, kind of find the middle ground. So I try to have it between 7 and 8. Normally in Lithuania, I would have it around 6 p.m., which is like, people here is like, what the hell,
Exactly. Even the Australians have it early, like 6:30 would be the dinner time, supper, dinner.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, what's between your lunch and dinner? Do you have something, and then what do you eat for dinner?
Lunch and dinner. Somehow I feel between lunch and dinner, I always crave for something sweet, and I don't usually have refined sugar. I don't actually, not usually. It's only if I don't have an option, I go somewhere and they make a cup of tea. And I'm not going to be like this crazy girl sitting there, hey, can I have like only brown sugar? Or, So I usually don't have my sugar. But there's this place here where I order my desserts from. Usually I like that, like a brownie, like a walnut brownie or something with green tea. Or I have my Indian snacks. We have so many snacks here in India. You know that, right? Those little stores you go and you pick up.
You talk about snacks or sweets? Yes. These like kind of variety of different shapes of sweets.
No, not just sweets, snacks. Like you get in those packets. You get when you go to the supermarket, they would have like so many like bhujia and all of that. It's not like super healthy but it's okay. Like I like to eat that. So I have a few things. So even now, after this podcast, I know what I'm going to have. My green tea, this is my snack time. It's nearly 6 o'clock. So yeah, my snack is around 5:30ish, 5 to 6 in between. And my parents back home also pretty much between lunch and dinner, they have tea time. So they have tea, biscuits, and of course the Indian snack, if there is any, they have that. What about Lithuania? How does it work with you guys?
I would say the same as we, between lunch and dinner, we barely have anything. Okay, usually it's going to be coffee at 3 p.m. At least what I've noticed around my circle. Maybe some small snack, but more like a fruit, banana, apple, maybe some nuts. Okay, maybe it could be some sweets, but not too much snacking, I think. Because if you have dinner, at 6, if you snack between, you won't be really hungry. And then I think it's not very typical to have it much later. Normally, I think between 6 and 7 people have their dinners, and that's why they should be hungry. And that's why we don't snack that much, because we know that, okay, it's gonna come very soon. So let's just kind of a little bit for not getting a gurgly stomach around. And when we moved to dinner, so as I moved to Barcelona, I moved my dinner time between 7 and 8. So for me, it's already late-ish.
Wow, like a ladder up, Aiste.
No, but also because, I really don't like to go to sleep or closer to sleep with anything still feelable in my stomach. And here, when you eat at 9, 10, I mean, I not try to go to sleep around 11, a bit after 11, I would be like still digesting so much stuff. So that's why for me, like health wise, I don't really like to have full stomach. So I try between 7 and 8. And what we usually do, I would say we order like a variety of tapas. Like I would say dinner is quite lighter. So we might have, okay, patatas bravas, some shrimps, some calamaris, some olives, mushrooms, and like, kind of nibbled, but nibble like feeling full, but like not just one big dish. If we, go out, of course, if we make something inside, it could be something as, heavier soup or like light curry or a little bit of chicken with something like lighter, because I kind of feel like for dinner, you should not stuff yourself like, like a balloon.
It should be a light meal. But do you cook in Barcelona? I mean, all these things you eat out, right?
No, actually, I cook quite a bit when I find time. I try to cook once though per day, because if I cook for both for lunch and dinner, it's like all I do is cook. I feel like that.
Exactly.
So I think one of them I try to cook. Not something super fancy. Like I probably would be not feeling great if I have to spend more than an hour in the kitchen for a dish. But all these faster ones, like, light curries or chicken breast cooked, or like something in the oven where you put and you like forget until it's made. So these kind of things, yeah, I cook. And I think I kind of revived my cooking skills here when I moved a little bit more. Not sure, maybe it's inspiration or just, trying not to always eat outside, because I don't think it's very healthy to always be eating outside.
Yes, I'm like a home person. I would love making my own meal. Like me, as in, even if the cook is there, I would ask her to like do the prep and keep, because I feel that takes so much of your time. As soon as the prep is done, you just need to cook. I love cooking. I mean, I think I've discovered this side of myself since the first lockdown. No, not the first lockdown, because I was pampered. The second lockdown, I started trying myself. So I really enjoyed, cooking. But what about like, how do you make your curry? I'm really quite interested to know. Like we make Indian style, right? Like chicken curry.
Well, I would say I try to follow a mixture, because, in India, I used to also make curries Indian style, but it used to be so long. So here I more like try to, okay, maybe I, mix a bit of like fry a bit of onions and cut a bit of either vegetables or chicken. I put some spices pre-prepared, maybe some sauce, and I kind of fry in it for some time. I call it curry. I don't really know if that's the right word for it, but it's like kind of something really fast. I mean, it doesn't take.
What are the
spices? Usually, I still have some mixes of spices from India, and I sometimes repurchase them again. So I use, I don't know, it could be like, chicken masala mix or these type of spices. I could try to play around myself mixing, but once I did, and it was not the greatest mix. So I, for now, trust the expertise of people who did it. And maybe sometime in the future, I will try to explore. I don't know, but it works well. Whatever I put from these pre-prepared mixes from like chicken masala or like even, I don't remember what else I had. Like I had a variety of, of these boxes. It really, it's good. It's like, it brings the taste. It's with rice, it's delicious, and then you put some vegetables, it's done. It's quite fast. Yeah, so I would say that's.
Like what sort of,
What about your dinner?
Just interested. Dinner, oh my god, my dinner, I say, like I've made now, I think it's just been for years I've been doing this. My dinner is usually very light. And I would like more like continental sort of stuff. Like it may be a pesto pasta with like veggies. It can be a quinoa with like bell pepper, mushroom, and tofu. Then I make like bowl, like a hummus bowl, with
Mm-hmm.
veggies, chickpeas. I make a wrap, and then a veg filled wrap with, or like maybe avocado wrap, but
Yeah.
I need to have soup. I will have like a pumpkin soup or a spinach soup. It'll
Mm.
always be there.
You
This is
have
pretty
such a
much my dinner.
fancy dinner.
Yes, right. But that's me. But my family back home, like if you have to say about Indian dinner, then of course it's like they would eat like chapati with like veggies, or they would have, let's say, at times like they will have, dumplings,
Mm-hmm.
that, right? In India,
Mamas?
momos with soup, or they would have like noodles, like veg noodles. And at times they would even have a pizza, they make at home.
Yeah.
What else? I think pretty much that. Yeah, but they're lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Those little, like, then they don't starve themselves. Like, okay, you're having momo today, you're making momo, doesn't mean you'll have like 20 momos, You might just have like 6 or 7 because it's, you need to keep it.
What time usually you have dinner then?
Yeah. My dinner, I like to finish it off by 9:30, like Spain, like, how the Spanish people do it. But my parents, I think, have it earlier. Yeah, like your time. My parents are
Okay,
like your time,
see, I'm
8 o'clock.
following the wisdom of your parents. You are still learning
Exactly.
lessons of early.
I think we should swap. Like I should be there and you should come back here.
I think I could be a good daughter for your parents, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you, for example, what I like to do, because of course, if I eat my dinner between 7 and 8, there's still quite a few hours before I go to sleep. So I like sometimes, like maybe around 9:30 or something, to make a cup of herbal tea, just kind of for calming down. I might eat a cookie or something if I'm like, feeling like, oh, my stomach is like kind of empty and it's just saying, hey, put something or I will not let you sleep. So I might, with the herbal tea, maybe have like a cookie or something, but rarely happens. Do you have something before sleep still, or not anymore?
I do. I have the chamomile. I do a cup of chamomile tea. And, at that part of the month, especially when I'm on my period, I just feel the craving before the period and also while, it's on. Like I like to have something sweet. So usually I keep dates at home, which I have in the morning on empty stomach because that's good. But otherwise, I usually have that or else the Lindt, 85% the dark chocolate. So I have
Mm.
one with chamomile. That's my like go-to like dessert, I would say, in the night. But I do that every day. Every day. I need
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
You actually have a really healthy, like sounds like very rich food routine. I mean, looking at all the ingredients, like I feel like my eating is so boring comparingly.
No, I try to. I mean, I'm telling you, from the second lockdown, I've become very conscious. And also, this consciousness came to me after I left eating meat and fish because I was like, listen, I'm not having any protein through my, like, meat and fish.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
how else can I kind of accommodate that, right? So I try to take in as many greens, then tofu, beans, lentils, all of these things so that it compensates for meat and fish that I don't really take, or eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm enjoying, actually. I really love, like, I've explored my cooking skills
Oh, that's
during.
really nice. What other, because we still have, now we finished dinner, we're basically sleeping now after the food routine. Just curious, now you said 4 months, basically fully vegetarian. What other, apart from getting a lot of inspiration and creativity in cooking, would you say, I don't know, you feel something better about your body or mind just because of changing the way you eat?
Yes, I mean, meat would give me breakouts. That was one thing. Also, constipation. Like if you have a lot of like chicken, Red meat never suited me. Red meat, as in for me, I would only max go only to mutton. I have never had beef in my life because of
Mm,
religious purposes, right?
yeah.
But then mutton I've had, and then uh, the moment I would have problems on my skin, and doctor always told me that, listen, you need to stop. It doesn't suit you. And that's how I've left even my meat and all of that. I've stopped eating. Even egg whites, like with yolk, if I eat too much, then I have, heat. So I feel more light these days, and I feel my skin is better and my gut is better without like meat and
Oh,
fish.
that's
I'm not
nice.
sure. Fish was something I really loved, so I didn't have
But
any issues with fish.
you mentioned that your doctor said that it doesn't suit you. Did he do like some kind of food compatibility test or any other way how he knew?
I would just have problems whenever I eat it, and when I didn't, it
Ah,
was okay. So
okay.
that's how we kind of understood. Because anyways, on Tuesdays, I was not having any meat or non-vegetarian for just religious purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt that day like things were better, for me. And I'm just like, what's happening? Then realize it's just meat that needs to
Yeah,
be cut. Yes.
could be. Actually, it's a nice story. I mean, I still, as you mentioned, like without seafood, it would be super hard for me to live. Chicken also, I'm not like craving badly, but I think for me, because of I'm having, low hemoglobin is like something I need to keep. And I tried a variety of, artificial drinking like iron and stuff like that. And it was just not, sorry, it's our timer.
Okay.
So I'm still like kind of, I would be curious to try, just as people mentioned, like, they feeling the boost of energy and like the clear skin and like all these benefits to the body. But I think I need to still be in the time of life where you have more time to put for the food preparation and, like, as you mentioned, creativity and stuff like that, because otherwise if I just stop and then I'm gonna start eating really worse because I don't
Yes.
have time to prepare nutritious vegetarian dishes. I don't think I want to play around. So,
Yeah.
but your story is quite, quite good to follow. So when
Oh,
you come
thank
here, bring your cook, please.
I will bring my cook along so that she can come and make stuff and stock it for a month for
At
you.
least, yeah, or at least teach me fast how to make all the things so I could be
Right.
like, okay, wake up, done, breakfast done, lunch done, dinner done. No, 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 I'm good and happy to go.
It's easy. I say all you need to do. That's why there are a lot of things. I say I'm only eating like chopped food. I say that because you just need to prep. Like if you prep and keep it in the fridge, you can use it for 2-3 days,
Hmm.
and make a fresh one. It's only about like the prep. So that saves a lot of time. But to follow a nutritious diet, I also feel you need to have time in hand or somebody who can help you out. Thankfully in India, we have people to work for us. But there, like you guys being there, like, you don't really have that sort of,
Luxury.
opportunity. So then I think then you need to invest a little time and, do
Yes. Well, it's a good talk. It's quite inspiring. And I hope people find interesting to see. We're not that different, actually. If you look at it, okay, apart from timings, and even timing wise, you are like a Spanish eater, to be honest. So,
it.
so actually, the food wise, we have quite a lot of similarities. Okay, maybe on my side, we focus a bit more on potatoes, and on your side is a bit like variety and creativity of vegetarian dishes. But in general, it's still a good, healthy, delicious food.
Exactly, it is. And look at you, how you're making the chicken curry. You've taken spices from here and you're still using it.
It's a survival instinct. Like when I don't have any other spice, I just put whatever I have, and it's suited. So I kept on putting, and now I keep on repurchasing them. Fighting through trial and fail. I think that's what
Yeah.
cooking is about. Okay, Sagira, so it's very nice to catch up with you. I think we finished this short one for the people who want to listen to us eating their lunches or having, short, tiny breaks, maybe in the morning or midday or evening. And yeah, I catch you soon. I love your turban, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's just a scarf turban. I don't know how it's looking.
It's looking very good. Colors representation.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So, Agita, we'll see you soon. You enjoy your week.
See you. You
And
enjoy yours. Have a good one. Ciao,
thank you.
ciao.
Bye bye.